Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Tuesday morning, the 14th of November, and back with the Delphi case again today. Listen, I'm a little bit angry, I'm a little bit annoyed. Okay, so snark alert. I can't hold it in. I just can't hold it in today. Before we get into that though, I just want to say that there will be a members live either today or tomorrow. I've not decided yet, but most probably tomorrow. So you've got some advance notice if you're a member of this channel. And what you're going to do for me is pick half, because I've got 12 already, of the Cold Case Christmas episodes. All right, so did Cold Case Christmas last year. From the 1st to the 24th of December, I covered a different cold case every single day. All right, like opening an advent calendar. So some of these were unsolved murders, some were missing persons, some were recent, some were not so recent. And I covered like the UK, the US, Canada, Australia. I don't know if I covered any other countries. Anyway, we're going to do it again this year. It's over on my other channel, Michelle Walks, so please do go over and subscribe to Michelle Walks if this sounds like your cup of tea. And I cover a whole bunch of other stuff as well over there. So if you like this channel, you're going to love that channel as well. Alright, so I've got 12 episodes, so I'm going to announce what the 12 episodes are on the Members Live. And I'm going to get you guys, the members, to pick the other 12. All right, so that's what we're going to do in the Members Live. Also, I'm going to get you to vote on the next Crime Story Sunday, which will be coming this Sunday coming. All right, without further ado, let's get into this video. As I said, I am mad. Why am I mad? Because there's absolute proof beyond any reasonable doubt whatsoever that the defence, Richard Allen's original defence, Andrew Baldwin and Brad Rosie, have been wronged. There's absolute proof that those crime scene photos, or the details of that crime scene, as horrific as it was out in the public, talked about, December of last year. Don't believe me? Well, you will believe me. You will believe me because I'm going to show you the evidence. I'm not going to show you crime scene photos or anything like that. It's all talking. But we're going to just back up a second. And if you remember, Brad Rosie and Andrew Baldwin were disqualified from being Richard Allen's counsel. There were shenanigans on October the 19th when an in-chambers meeting was held in which Brad Rosie and Andrew Baldwin were forced to withdraw. Either withdraw or take a public shaming, a public tongue lashing from the judge. All right. So Brad Rosie didn't withdraw. Brad Rosie has never withdrawn. He said he would do it in writing and he never did. So people who say both attorneys withdrew, no, they didn't. They didn't. And Andrew Baldwin withdrew, but it was under duress. All right. Fast forward a few days, because there's lots of shenanigans, and I've covered all of the shenanigans on this channel, so go back and watch October's, kind of latter end of October's videos. So on the 31st of October, at the hearing, that's when the attorneys were disqualified. So there's things going through the Supreme Court of Indiana. Why were they disqualified? Well, gross negligence, although Judge Francis C. Gull has not given any evidence that gross negligence occurred. But one of the things that she wasn't happy with, that she deemed gross negligence, was the leaking of crime scene photos. All right, okay. Because according to Andrew Baldwin's friend, Mitch Westerman, according to his affidavit, he went into Andrew Baldwin's office sometime in August and took photos of crime scene photos, distributed them to someone called Robert, who then committed suicide, not before distributing them to Mark, who the murder sheet says is a really nice guy. Is he, though? Because he's the one at the centre of all of this nonsense. But perhaps he's not the only one at the centre of all of this nonsense. Now, I've played several times the Court TV episode from September, when the defence memorandum came out, of Barbara McDonald, who is a journalist, stroke correspondent, stroke writer for Court TV, but she is also a podcaster. So some people who keep saying she's a journalist, not a podcaster, so what? She's a civilian. She's not a member of the law enforcement team investigating the Delphi case, right? But she's on Court TV talking about the crime scene. I'm going to play that clip in a moment because, some people seem to think that this is not an issue. This is not a problem, all right? Because talking about the sticks is not the same as actual crime scene photos of dead children, and arguably yes. But my point was, well, if she's got sketches from the crime scene, what else has she got? And that still stands. What else does Barbara McDonald have? But it's not Barbara McDonald who's the focus here. The focus is a bunch of other people who also seem to have received not just sketches, but explicit details of the crime scene. So, this is Barbara McDonald, Court TV in September, the one that some of you guys don't think is too bad.
I've been hearing about these stick formations and this image on the tree for a very long time, and very different characterizations than what's in this memorandum. Sources close to the investigation have provided me with drawings of what they say those images look like, the arrangement of those sticks. So let's start with the one of Abby, and it shows 3 sticks. Now, we have not placed her body here because this is how it was provided to me. We don't know exactly what the positioning on top of her was like, but this is supposed to be a representation of what the image looked like, the way the sticks were formed. Now let's put up the image from Libby, and there's 5 sticks involved here by my count, and you can look at these and decide if they look like something to you or look like they're randomly placed. I have spoken to many investigators who were on the scene at the time who say the assumption was they were randomly placed. They did not see a pattern.
The defence team have been wronged without any shadow of a doubt. They have been wronged. And it's not just about Mitch Westerman's betrayal. No. It goes back way further. But let me remind you about what the murder sheet said. In the November 7th episode, they had 2 prosecutors on, right? And, because they're all, clutching their pearls over these leaks about how catastrophic it is, right? Well, okay, so this is what Brett, the prosecutor, said on Murder Sheet just a few days ago.
There's a protective order over this incredibly sensitive stuff. And as we've said before, imagine the police had done this. Imagine the police had released, not intentionally, but had acted in such a negligent way that photographs of 2 murdered young girls were out in the public. Imagine a police officer had done that. Imagine a prosecutor had done that. Imagine that's how this came out. How would you feel about that? How would you feel about those people? Would you say, oh, no harm, no foul. Everybody makes mistakes. It was a friend. He trusted him. You probably wouldn't say that. You probably would think something should happen to this person. There should be some punishment. That's really bad.
Yeah, so bad. They just had to go. Well, all right. But those crime scene photos have been out. Explicit details of the crime scene have been known by civilians since at least last December. All right, going to show you some screenshots here from Criminality. This happened overnight my time. So 12/05/2022, this was on Discord. Somebody took a screenshot. Where did you hear that she was nude? Referring to Libby. It's widely rumoured that Abby had Libby's clothes on, and Libby was nude because Abby's clothes didn't fit her. Like he tried to redress them, put the wrong clothes on the wrong girl. And you might say, yeah, but that's just a rumour. Okay, yeah, all right, that is just a rumour. What about this? December the 3rd, 2022, Chris Todd, who is a writer, an author, was on Court TV. I went to find that Court TV episode, and this is what Chris Todd actually said.
Investigative producer and author of Forest for the Trees, Chris Todd, is with us. Chris, let me start with you. This crime scene. You've seen pictures. Describe what you've seen. Take us there. Take me, everyone watching tonight, to that scene, and describe for us what is where and the significance of these locations.
I just got the crime scene photos. I just received these within probably 48 hours. So it's all brand new. I'm still processing what to make of it. It's a little sad, and it's going to be emotional for the families, for the public to see these. And I am going to bring them forward. And I guess we may not show them today, and that's okay. But these are the articles of clothing that were found in the creek.
When you talk about articles of clothing, does this suggest that there may have been some sort of sexual aspect to what happened to these young girls, based upon the clothing that you saw in these photos?
I can comment a lot more even about the actual murders themselves. We can wait for that if you'd like, through the Leo whistleblowers that we have. I do know a lot about the murders themselves.
Let it fly.
Okay.
Let it fly, sure. Chris.
So,
let it fly.
But from the clothes, yes, it indicates. Okay, yes, there was a sexual assault for both victims, and there's some creepy posing and staging that occurred. But just to answer the first question is yes, the clothes in the photos. There's 3 of them. I have 3 photos, and these clothes do indicate that they prove that one of the girls was nude for sure at that moment. And I do believe through the investigation that both girls were nude at one time.
Do you see why I'm mad, guys? Do you see why this is a complete travesty of justice? Do you see why the judge and Slick Nick believe that the defence have done a great wrong? Well, maybe the judge isn't aware of all of this nonsense that's gone on. Maybe the judge is just believing Slick Nick. I don't know. I don't like to think a judge is in on a travesty of justice. It looks that way, but I don't want to believe that it is that way. That's what I'm saying. But how did Chris Todd, just within the last 48 hours of this show, how did he become acquainted with the most explicit details about the crime scene, about SA? Who's told him that? Presumably Court TV checked their sources. I don't know. Tell me again how bad the defence have been for allowing a leak. And tell me again how law enforcement have not been fired from their jobs. Barbara McDonald said it's investigators that was giving her information. Presumably, the only people who have access to the discovery at the time, because Brad Rosie and Andrew Baldwin didn't even have the full discovery in December 2022. They were new to the case. They'd only just got the PCA. So tell me again what the defence did wrong. Tell me again why the investigators have not been fired. Tell me again why Richard Allen is in a maximum security prison, now having to wait another year because his defence team, against his will, have been taken away, and he's been given 2 public defenders, one at least, who is a friend of Judge Francis Gull. Tell me again that there isn't just a huge cover-up here, because it looks a lot that way to me. The world is certainly watching, and I want to personally thank every single creator who is spending hours and hours and hours doing research, going back, finding all of this stuff. Because this is wrong on so many levels, and the proof is right there on Court TV. Now, you guys who are supporting the prosecution, who believe that Richard Allen's original defense team should have been disqualified, tell me again, guys, why you are believing this complete horse shit. Tell me again how you became so gullible. Tell me in the comments. All right, guys, I'm done.